Howdy, folks. It's great to see you guys again. Let's see, today is Thursday's Thoughts. So happy Thursday to everybody. And thank you for sharing this journey with me. And let's see, I got up this morning, went and did my row after I got the girls off to school. So I got my 5K row in. It took me about 29, 30 minutes, somewhere in there. So today what I wanted to talk about is, what's your why? And when I say what's your why is it you do what you do? It can be why you do your job. It can be why you do your hobby, whatever it is. Why is it that you do what you do? And the reason that this is important is because if you don't understand why you're doing something, what your motivation is, it's kind of hard for you to do it consistently and to the best of your ability. So, sorry about that. Gotta love my Splash Duo. One of the big things that I've been able to change in my life is instead of drinking Coke Zero all the time like I used to, I got my lemonade that I drink. It's sugar-free, 0 calories, and it's a much better alternative. And I drink it all the time. Plus, it helps me get my water in because got my big old cup here. And I will drink this. I will refill that probably four times a day. So, what is your why? Well, let me share you a little bit about what my why is. Why is it that I'm doing these videos? Why is it that I am you ever have your brain just kind of wander off on you? Why is it that I'm doing these videos? Why is it that I'm sharing, different things about photography and that kind of thing? Well, the Thursday's Thoughts for me are all about different things that go on in my head, things that I'm thinking about. I talk about leadership. I talk about, as it applies to business, as it applies to a lot of other things. Wednesdays I talk about wellness. Tuesdays I talk about Tuesdays tips, and Mondays is mental health Mondays. Now, why do I do these videos? Well, I've been dealing with mental health struggles most of my life. I have been battling depression and to some extent anxiety as long as I can remember. Now it's gotten worse with PTSD. That is definitely not something that helps. But I wanted to talk about that subject because I think it's important that people are able to have a conversation about it. When you don't talk about it and when you bury it, those kind of things can become much more exacerbated, and it's not healthy. It doesn't help. With Tuesday's tips, the big thing for me is that I really enjoy photography. So what I do on Tuesdays is share some of the things that I've learned, explain different aspects of photography and that kind of thing, because I'm sharing one of my passions. Wellness Wednesday is all about wellness. This has become a very important thing for me because I was living very unhealthy. Um, I had a very unhealthy way of life um, for a long time. Once I got out of the military, I kind of let myself go physically. I didn't really care about what I was eating. I didn't care about what my nutrition was. I didn't care about what was around me in the environment. I just didn't care. I never gave any thought to it. Here I was in my 40s trying to act and eat like I was still in my 20s, and that took a toll. That took a toll. So I'm on a wellness journey where I'm learning about how to eat differently, about how to manage my type 2 diabetes, how to um, do different things to improve my environmental and physical wellness. And Thursday's thoughts, this is where I wrap things together. I talk about leadership, I talk about philosophy, I talk about the things that make me me, and how I tick. Um, so that's a bit about um, how I see why I'm doing these things. Um, I'm doing it so that people can get to know who I am, get to understand me as the real me. Um, it's one of those things that is difficult and a challenge sometimes, but it's helping me get out of my shell, um, and it's helping me to get past some of that depression and anxiety. The more I'm open and frank about the struggles that I have with that kind of stuff, the easier it is to deal with it, because it's not something I'm bearing, it's not something I'm hiding. And that's a big why on what I'm doing. I've managed to turn my struggle with diabetes around, and that's huge for me. And I know other people struggle with it, and I want to share about that because I want to help people learn to do the things that I've done so that they can manage their own diabetes, or help somebody that they love that has diabetes deal with that kind of thing. And still not used to talking this much. So sharing those aspects of myself and who I am really makes a huge difference for me. It helps with my um, self-image, because I'm doing something to help folks, and that feels good to help people. So that's part of improving my mental health. It's part of helping other people live better and that kind of thing. And it's that kind of thing that it makes it worth the effort to um, get on here and go live. It's that kind of thing that makes it um, worth it in the long run. So that is my why. So here's the question: what is your why? What is it that makes you tick? What is it that makes you feel impassioned and empowered? That's the kind of thing that you really need to find a way to embrace. That's the kind of thing that's really going to help you get through this this journey called life. So I would encourage you to work on that. And you know, if you need help figuring out how to identify that kind of thing, talk to the people that know you best. Ask them, hey, this is what I think my why is. What do you think? And if you don't know, ask me. I'd be more than happy to catch you and help you out. So if you're catching this on live, you'll be seeing up here in the corner the little live thing. If you're not seeing that red button, that means you're catching it on the replay. So drop me a hashtag replay down there so I know that you're catching it on the replay. I'd like to hear some responses from y'all. Let me know what your why is. What is it that you're doing, and why are you working on that? So let me know. I'd love to know what your why is, and you know, let's share. Let's figure out how we can support each other in these things. So well, tomorrow we're making that. Please join us tomorrow for Foodie Friday. On my wife Jessica's timeline, we're going to be making a cheeseburger kind of casserole thing, but this is going to be a somewhat keto friendly, and it's R3 compliant. So it's definitely going to be a different type of thing than we've made in the past. So kind of looking forward to it. And we're kind of not telling the girls what some of the ingredients are because they both like cheeseburgers. So we're hoping that we can get them to eat this, and it's going to have some healthy stuff in it for them. We'll try to sneak that in on them. How many of you parents need to do things like that? Try to sneak in the healthy stuff on your kids because they just don't want to cooperate with it. Yeah, let us know. But yeah, tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central Time, we will be going live for Foodie Friday. So looking forward to doing that. So in the meantime, folks, y'all have a great afternoon. Keep doing what you're doing, and give some thought. What is it that you're doing and why? And be able to articulate that why. I do what I do because I want to help people enjoy photography. I want to help people know that they're not alone in their struggles with mental health, and that it's a journey that I'm here to support you on. And I want to help people find environmental and physical wellness so that way they can live their best life, that they can have, you know, more life in their years. Because if you're not healthy, you're not able to do a lot of the great things that are out there to do. So until tomorrow, folks, peace, love, and photography. And remember, everything can make a beautiful image, including you. You guys have a great afternoon. Bye.